here we are.
Oh, now we are. Here's my winner belt.
Winter belt.
Because if we look at the thing, and it says, Aaron, Crazy Train, Paranoid.
That is correct.
Because right before he played Paranoid, right before he did Crazy Train, Crazy Train, he did Mama, I'm Coming Home, and you can't leave that crowd on that note.
I guess not.
Because seriously, you said you just caught bits and pieces
well,
of
no,
it.
I saw the crowd.
But honestly, I watched the whole thing.
Yeah.
If you didn't cry, you have no soul. That's the way it is. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And the same with, Mr. Crowley. That's what he played with Ozzy. That was trying to think of just earlier. They did Mr. Crowley, and it was a borderline No More Tears.
Oh, is that?
Yeah, it was really close to that. Jake was there.
I saw that. He played with the guy from Ghost and Dave Elfson.
Yeah, so he did. No, he was in Group A.
Oh, is that what they were
They were
calling?
calling it Super Group A and or 1 and Super Group 2, which is basically. So I think Nuno Benincourt was in both of them.
I saw that the drummer for Faith No More was in there.
He was in the first one.
But he was also too a member of Ozzy.
He should have been playing. He should have been the drummer for the band at the end.
I think he was the drummer for No More Tears too.
He may have come out. I didn't see.
When I showed him something they're playing with somebody, I thought it was Jakey Lee.
Oh yeah, no, he came out. I'm gonna look it up here. Overall, and you know what? In hindsight, I saw that I caught on to the whole thing. What was the name of the show?
They wanted Back to the Beginning.
Back to the Beginning. So, the first couple bands are newer bands that are in.
Who were they?
One was Stabbing Westward.
Oh yeah, they're Vancouver, aren't they?
I thought so too. I honestly thought that too. I gotta look up.
Yeah, look that up, because I fucking swear they're fucking. That's not the second time I've heard them now about them now about something. I'm like, I remember being like in the Vancouver Seeds or something like that.
I thought so too. I could be wrong.
Or it's a fucking shared Mandela effect. Because I remember them being from Vancouver.
I'm gonna find it here first. So, Anthrax was really early.
I know, what was the name of Stabbing Westward, right?
Yeah, you look up.
Was Stabbing Westward from Vancouver?
Mastodon. I missed. Oh no, sorry, it wasn't Stabbing Westward. Sorry, wrong band.
Well, they were from Stabbing Westward from Chicago.
It was Rival Sons.
Rival Sons. What have I heard them before?
You haven't.
No?
I don't know.
No, I don't mean like I've listened to them. Like I've heard about them, probably from my kid or something. She goes to all these weird.
Oh, here's the one. So Mastodon came out. Rival Sons came out. Mastodon did Supernaut.
Nice.
Rival Sons came out. They did a couple of theirs, and they also did Electric Funeral. Anthrax came out. They did. It says Into the Void, but no, they played. Maybe it was Into the Void. There were so many songs going on, so it was just like, and it was almost like Bad Band off stage. Hailstorm came out, did Perry Mason.
Mm-hmm.
They all did two their own songs, and then another one. Lamb of God came out and did Children of the Grave. I'm sorry. Yeah, Megadeth wasn't there, and I don't know. Hey, Pat, we're gonna get to Saturday in a second, Pat. Okay, the first one, Supergroup A, featured Neil Betancourt, Mike Morton, Faith Moore, Dave Ellison, Lizzie Hale, Adam Wakeman. I don't know who he is. He must have been. Oh, he was a keyboard player. He was a long-time keyboard player for Ozzy. And Jakey Lee. So when they come out, they all came out, introduced, came out, and last was going to be Jake. They lost him. Somewhere between dressing room and going on the stage, they actually lost Jake, and they're like, and Lizzie's like, "Where's Jake? Where's Jake?" And all of a sudden, just to get him, she had the crowd go, "Jake, Jake, Jake, Jake," because they didn't know where he was.
He just got shot, for Christ's sake. He just got shot. He's playing guitar now.
Yeah, but still, he had one job: go from the dressing room to the stage.
Just got shot. He's there playing for free to the people that fucking got the writing credits.
I know, there's that too. So that's why he was in for group. Well, I didn't want to have people. I don't think they wanted to have bigger stars. I think that's why they were all hired guns, other than Zach.
Yeah.
For the backing band of Ozzy, so nobody would.
Well, that's everybody. It's like
overshadow.
It's like Kane Hodder. Everybody thinks of him as Jason, even though he was like it's like later on in fucking life, pretty like 7, 8, 9, 10. He was in, but he came later in life. But everybody thinks of him as Jason, just like fucking funny there.
Robert Eklund.
No, who were we just talking about? I'm fucking lost, man.
Yeah, so Lizzie Hale did, and then they did Shot in the Dark.
Yeah, saw that.
Which had David Draymond, who they booed. The crowd booed him.
That's because he's a Jew.
Yeah.
They
did Sweet Leaf. Maybe this is. Oh, that's where I heard, because Scott Ian came out and they did Sweet Leaf. So that's what's confusing me. And then Believer with Frank Bello, Betancourt, Whitfield Crane of Ugly Kid Joe, Scott Ian was still there, and Sleep Token. It wasn't Ghost, it was Sleep Token.
The one that did Bark of the Moon?
Oh, and then Changes. And then
Tobias or something.
Thank God, okay, so there was tiers on this thing. I told you, I got the live stream one. So, because there was which was like $10. Or you could pay like 40 and get it for 48 hours when it's going to be on YouTube 20 minutes later. Okay. I got the live stream one, and the live stream kept dropping out. I don't know if it was internet that day. I don't know if it was just the stream was overloaded because everybody was watching it. I don't know, but it would drop out at times. I miss Jack Black, and I'm all right with that.
Yeah, I think we're all
Alice in Chains did Fairies Wear Boots. Nice. Gojira came out. He did Under the Sun. I guess.
I don't remember that song.
They did, so their 4 songs they did were Stranded, Silvera, Mea Cupola, and Under the Sun. If you get a chance,
must have been later on Sabbath.
If you get a chance, I'll find it. I'm going to send it to you because I'll remember, you won't. You've got to watch the drum off.
Between
Travis Barker, Blink-182, one of the hardest hitting drummers ever. Danny Carey of Tool, and Chad Smith of the Red Hot Chili Peppers. So they're doing Iron Man, and they break it up so that there's like these drum solos in Iron Man. Barker goes first. Chad Smith is watching him and show him, and he has this look on his face like, I cannot fucking follow that up. He's got this look of like, what the fuck is that guy doing? I cannot do that. It was insane. I can't, and the funny thing is, I can't remember Danny Carey.
No.
Nope. No, sorry, it wasn't Iron Man. It was Symptoms of the Universe. Yeah, because it was able to break it up. For some reason, I think it was that. And then Supergroup B came out. So Carey stayed on stage. Billy Corgan came out. It was pretty. It's weird seeing that dude doing shit like this because of the fact that we all think of him as fucking full with butterfly wings, shit, right? It's really weird. So came out. And with KK Downing was there.
Cool.
And Rudy Sarzo and Tom Morello. They did Breaking the Law with KK Downing. That was pretty cool seeing freaking Smashing Pumpkins there do freaking Breaking the Law. Then they did Snowblind. They did Flying High again. That was with Sammy Hagar. That was actually quite good.
Nice.
They did Rock Candy. Bark at the Moon. Who was singing that one? Barker, Benincourt.
Pop up the
Yeah.
Ghost.
Is that Ghost? Okay.
Seems to bias something or other. I don't fucking get it. They look cool, but
Vernon Reid was on that one from the In Living Color or Living Color. Like the guitar players that they had were damn good. I'd probably say the only one that would say is an over the top kind of guy would be Noonan Benincourt, but he's kind of. I think he's a little humbled now because of the fact that he disappeared for so many years.
Well, his band would probably be pretty decent if it wasn't for that fucking other guy.
Probably.
You know what? I'm surprised Sebastian Bach was in there myself.
I thought about that one because of the fact that if
I mean, I know he was at the last Kiss show, and he was like in the first couple of rows.
Motley Crue. So if Motley Crue was going to be there, I would have think that it would have been him singing.
There's another thing. You'd think they would fucking do that. They'd show up for that. It was Ozzy that fucking gave him that big fucking help to fucking mega stardom.
That's why with the last band's over there. Then Steven Tyler came out, get it chain, kept it rolling, walked this way, and a whole lot of love. Don't know why they did Zeppelin. Because if you remember a really big conversation that we walked in on one day when we were like 15, 16, must have been 15 because we were walking.
Yeah.
And walking in on a conversation with drunk Italian guy with drunk big tall Indian dad guy. Not to name names on who invented heavy metal. Was it Zeppelin or was it Sabbath? That was one of the first things I thought of. Next was Pantera. And so I missed because I was doing other things and it would turn into background noise. I've seen Pantera before. Whatever. So they did Cowboys from Hell. And the one that I missed was Walk. And I'm listening to it. And I was thinking, why was Walk not a bigger song? Like it's kind of big now, but the whole back then, you listen to the lyrics, the guitars are just fucking there, right on. The guitars and drums are just pounding. Guitars, bass, drums, just pounding. The lyrics are about you will respect me or I will beat the respect into you. Pretty much.
Oh yeah, the reason I was talking about Jason on the big people is because Zach is fucking pretty much considered fucking Ozzy's guitar player. That's where Zach belongs, is right there.
Yeah, it is. That's what you're saying. Okay.
That's what I was getting to.
But during Walk, you have to go back a bit. So introducing all the bands and saying that they did a great job after they were done was Jason Momoa. Aquaman. May have done some other shit, I don't know. Comes running out, dives into the crowd during Walk. He fucking dives right into the fucking pit. I'm like, that's fucking crazy. Like, you don't see celebrities doing that. Is what I'm getting at.
No, but that guy, he goes and hangs out with fucking Slayer. He loves it.
Oh yeah, he does. And then they did Planet Caravan, which they covered on their second album.
Yeah.
And Electric Funeral, which I think they covered on another album. Maybe Nativity? Maybe. Which was actually a really good compilation. Because I think it came around the same time as Kiss My Ass.
No, they almost think that was a big fucking thing back then. Was fucking bands doing It was a big thing.
Undisputed Attitude. Slayer did a whole album.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then Tool came out. Hand of Doom. Sabbath. Yeah, so that's what they did. So they did 46 and 2, Hand of Doom, and then Enema. Slayer did Disciple, which is, God Hates Us All, followed by War Ensemble, Wicked World. They did a melody that inside South of Heaven. Like they were doing South of Heaven, then they broke into something else. I can't remember what it is. I wasn't taking notes of this. Then they did Rain and Blood, then they did Angel of Death. They did a lot of songs, but their songs are fast. Songs are short. Glad I missed this one. I missed Fred Durst doing Changes.
The price put a Feldman was in there too.
You could have been doing. You could have been playing with Fred Durst.
Changes with Durst.
Fuck. Guns N' Roses.
Yeah, fucking.
It's Alright, Never Say Die, Junior's Eyes, Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, Welcome to the Jungle, Paradise City.
And again, like I said, I wasn't watching. I never watched the whole thing. I watched clips and stuff and shit like that. A lot of fucking people think they are fucking terrible. Well, the band is good. Axl fucking sucks.
I just didn't find him there. He's just not.
Well, then they said too. This one too. He's completely off.
Yeah, no, he was. After Guns N' Roses was the Metallica. Metallica, Master of Puppets, opened for Ozzy. 86. So what would have that been? Was it Oz? 86.
No, I didn't listen to Oz. Listen to Oz is the first one. That probably been like the Ultimate Sin.
Ultimate Sin. That's what. So they did Hole in the Sky, Creeping Death, For Whom the Bell Tolls, Johnny Blade, Battery, Master of Puppets. Really surprised they did Battery.
Wow.
Doesn't sound like the Battery that I remember. There used to be a lot of double kick in that song. Axl always sucked.
Yeah.
Right there. Let's put that up on the screen for everybody to see for a while. We're going to just leave it
It's the
there.
quote of the day.
Ozzy was next. Started off with Ozzy coming out in his throne. We did I Don't Know. Mr. Crowley. This one, the next one, if you listen to what was said after the show, what happened what was that, Saturday, was it? Yeah, Saturday. So on Sunday, you find out all the shit, but he did Suicide Solution. Apparently, in Ozzy's condition, he has assisted suicide set up. So that if he gets too bad,
It looks awful.
they'll just off him. Yeah, he'll off himself.
That makes sense.
But the fact that he hadn't played the song "Suicide Solution," and then he did "Mama, I'm Coming Home," and like I said earlier, if you watched it and you didn't cry, you have no soul. And it wasn't the fact that you're crying because of like what you're seeing. It was like one of those things of like it just took one person. It was like one person puking.
Yeah.
And made the next person puke. And it just you would have almost thought that that was it. And then they did Crazy Train. Zach backed up the whole Mama, I'm Coming Home thing. Because even Ozzy himself was welling up and holding back on it. He had problems.
Yeah, I saw that Zach singing that, yeah.
Yeah, so he had problems getting through the song, but so he was doing a little bit of karaoke almost because he was singing along with Zach and reading off of the screen. So it's like karaoke.
Yeah.
And then Crazy Train. Boom! And then Black Sabbath, they did War Pigs. Because I was like, what are they going to play? Because, like I said, it's all through the thing. They're all playing songs. And then you think about it. First 4 Sabbath albums with Ozzy. Yeah. Is there a bad song on it? Is there an album where you, in this day and age, where you can skip a song?
First 4 albums?
First 4 albums.
Black Sabbath, Paranoid, Sweet Leaf, and
Volume 4.
I'm not really familiar with Volume 4. But the first 3, no.
No. I would even say Volume 4, too.
I mean, I know Volume 4 has Snowblind on it. A couple of other ones are really good.
Wheels of Confusion, Tomorrow's Dream, Changes.
Tomorrow's Dream.
FX, Supernaut, Snowblind. Supernaut, I love that one.
Yeah, so do I.
Cornucopia, Laguna Sunrise.
That's the
St. Vitus Dance, and Under the Sun, Every Day Comes and Goes. Still.
That's good songs on it.
But like I said, so you got Paranoid, Master of Reality. Let's go to the first. See discography. We got beginning, Black Sabbath, Paranoid, Master Reality, and Volume 4. He did a couple more though too, because he was on Sabotage, wasn't
He was Sabotage. Yeah, I never seen that.
Oh yeah, so he did the first 6.
Never
I'm
seen
not familiar with those
Sabotage had Hole in the Sky in it.
Oh, Hole in the Sky. Never Say Die had Never Say Die. Johnny Blade.
There's one, I can't remember. I remember there was one really good one on
I Never Say Die.
that. Yeah, I forget what it was.
Junior's Eye. The Hard Road. Shockwave. Shockwave was decent. Air Dance. Over to You. Breakout. Swinging the Chain.
Yeah, they gotta sing something else.
But yeah, so they had War Pigs. Yeah, so as it was building, like I said, as they're building, every band's playing a fucking Sabbath song. You're all playing that. I was like, fuck, they're gonna leave nothing for Sabbath. Like you're not gonna hear the same song twice in one day.
No,
But then at the same time, there's so many songs.
Also, too, I mean, they came on fucking share probably said these are the songs that play.
Yeah.
These are the songs that Sabbath are playing. Anything else is up to you guys, but these ones you do not touch.
Oh yeah, you know that fucking Metallica's people were talking to Anthrax's people, who were talking to Tool, who were talking to freaking rival sons or whatever the fuck they're called. They're out talking to all of them, you know, like, or it was told, this is what you do.
Or Sharon told them that's what they're doing.
Yeah, that's what you're doing.
That wouldn't surprise me either.
Yeah. So and then they did War Pigs. Geezer did NID.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And then it was Iron Man, and then Paranoid. Yeah, the Aussie one, but how it went was back to the beginning. So it was like the newer bands, and then it kind of got into the ones that more towards the end of the thing, right? So you got into like the Guns N' Roses. Guns N' Roses never opened, or Guns N' Roses were there because they're fucking Guns N' Roses. There is nothing to do with Sabbath. Duff's a punk kid from Seattle. Slash is
Axel can't fucking sing.
Axel. Yeah, so Duff is a punk kid from Seattle. Slash is like a rock and roller punk guy too. He likes that sort of thing, but he's more of the rock guy. Tried out for Poison. Tried out for Kiss. And so basically that's it because everybody else in the band quit. Guns N' Roses was on that bill because they're Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
I don't see Axl being a Sabbath guy.
But I do see him being an Aussie guy.
No, I see him because of the way he sang when he did his singing or his style, whatever you want to call it. Back in the day on a Tuesday, he was more of a Zeppelin. I gotta give it.
What do you mean? The way he sung?
Yeah, his style. I see his style more of Zeppelin than I do.
Oh no, but
Sabbath.
Well, that's what I'm saying too. But I say he not Sabbath. I'm saying Ozzy, more of an Ozzy fan. Like when he's more rock than fucking Black Sabbath do. That's what I meant by Ozzy.
Okay, yeah, I can see it being more
Bark
of
of the Moon and
Bark of the Moon, Crazy Train.
Yeah, all the fucking Ozzy stuff. Not necessarily the doom metal Sabbath, but the Ozzy.
What did they play anyways? What did I say they played? Oh, they did Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath. And Never Say Die. See it, you're like.
See, I can see them doing that, but I can see them doing that years ago. When Axl could sing, he used to be able to. He can't play. He can't. He sounds like Pervert the Herbert the Pervert from Family Guy. I mean, I shit you not. I fucking saw a reel of that once. I can't say that's all I fucking hear now.
That is awesome. Okay, so Pat is there. Pat, what do you think of Friday night? Let's talk about Friday night. Me and Pat went to the Chill House.
Yes, I bailed. I apologize.
Yeah, see, he can see Robert Plant influence on Axl singing. Spot on. Axl still sucks. It's like doing Homer Simpson. Flanders sucks. But I want to hear what Pat thought about the show on Friday night. I didn't even make it to the last band. There was 4 bands playing. The first one was good. Pat would have to remind me who played first. I can't remember who they were. Pat knew who all these guys were. It was a huge death metal show. It was out on the top floor of the Chill House, not downstairs, top floor. Because they needed room. Because it's metal. So when it's like that kind of metal, and it's old guy metal, like everybody that played was like our age. Oh shit! Grave went on after 11. Yeah.
What?
So Grave Mass, or was it Grave Mass Grave? Or Grave? I can't remember there. Shattered Throne was the first band. Yeah, Shattered Throne was good. There was a band from Calgary that played. They were quite Me and Pat talked about it. We were talking about it afterwards. Shadow Throne was good, but that I think without Exit Wound. Exit Wound was from Calgary, and they were quite. There was something about the bass player. The bass player he annoyed me. He did. Imagine Master of Justice playing death metal.
Big grin.
Yeah. Oh, but not a grin. But he would be upside down. Yeah. Like that. Yeah. Is that him, Chris? Oh, wait. Let me get that one off. See. Great match. YouTube autocorrect. So sucks. Oh, yeah. Yeah, because the shows aren't really. That's why. So that's why Tyler started going to 3 bands. So there was 4 bands that night, and he doesn't want to go after 11. He doesn't want to rock the boat, and I get it. Yeah, Exit Wound was a metal for young metal heads. I don't know how long this kid would be able to play bass this long. One, it was distorted, not loud enough. He played distorted bass. So the problem is with his distortion that he was playing, it sounded a lot like a guitar. And there's already 2 guitars. And so you just couldn't hear it. And he wasn't loud enough. So, and he played really weird. He would play like with a picking motion, but he would just be using his hand. And he'd be doing a lot of chords. And then he'd do some fingering thing. And then go back to this. And it was just his cordless wasn't working properly. His bass was being held on with tape. Like the strap was taped on. Like, just like.
That's pretty sad.
It just nothing really added up on it. It was just, he was kind of just annoyed me. He was the only bass player that no. The first one, Shattered Throne, their bass player was good. I liked him. Exit Wound was pretty decent. 4-piece. No, more, 3-piece. 1 guitar, 1 bass. Drum singer. They were good, and I never got to Great Mass because I worked that day and I was bagged. I was just like, holy fuck, I'm old. So it was overall.
You guys, I'm going out.
Yeah, I just couldn't do it anymore. So because I want them suing me too. No, overall, I'd say it's a good show. I was like, one of the first things I thought about is like, oh, we got to play up here. Either like S&M, maybe Electric Jets. Not at the same time. I'm never doing that again. What's his name? So when I did Gary Holt's book, did I ever tell you that when I did Gary Holt's book, he talked about how fucked up his arm is after that? Yeah, he fucked himself up. And I said, I wish I would have read this before I went and did it. I only did 2 fucking half-hour sets. Yeah, sure, I didn't do them I didn't do a fucking half hour, then a fucking hour and a half. After an hour and a half, like he talked about how he'd have time to change his clothes because he'd be all sweaty and shit and go and do that. It was just like I'm never again. No, but we have the good news on Saturday. It was a good day.
What was Saturday?
Saturday is when I kicked you in the ass and said, no, we need to get
yeah.
enough of this fucking recording bullshit.
I'm still going to record for demo purposes.
Demo purposes. Yep. It's time to shit or get off the pot. And
Because I was thinking about that. You know, we got 3 songs right now. Four that we just got finished.
And some more working things.
And then other ideas in the can. But why not fucking? Why get people? I mean, they're not fucking hard. Like, this kid that we got for guitar.
Yeah.
I don't know how fucking old he is, but he's fucking loving this shit. All he wants to do is play fucking live. This guy wants to play fucking live.
So in other words, he probably hasn't ever played live.
Oh, I don't know, but we're trying him out.
Yeah.
But he said he can do solos and not great ones, but he was sitting at home fucking singing. I was talking to him on Saturday.
Yeah, we're talking about this guy Walter, who Walter. What does Walter play? Walter's like a guitar player, or who's Walter? I can't remember what he played. He was doing double duty. We're talking about that. He was playing with the Goalers and Dayglow Abortion on the same thing. He would have like the same as Gary Holt. You get a little break where you can like take a break in between, but he played back to back.
Yeah.
With these guys.
But no, this kid fucking he was sitting home fucking figuring it out off the YouTube. And Thursday, I think we'll take some time and learn. I forgot.
It's going to be good.
We got a solid drummer.
But solid drummer, and you know what? So funny thing is so I saw the Wonder Kid drummer at the show, like that 15-year-old kid.
Yeah.
I saw him, and I told him, I said, I had you on my short list to come and play with us. He's like, oh, I totally would have. And I was like, I just didn't think you'd want to play with a bunch of old guys. And he's like, yeah, I've played with 30-year-old guys before. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. I'm like, twice that.
Not yet.
Not yet, but close enough. But yeah, when he said that, like, 30 is also twice his age, right? So,
Yeah.
Like, and he's like, yeah, you guys are like little punk. And he's like, yeah, I would like to play that just because of the fact that it's just a different style and it can make him better. I just playing for like going from like playing death metal, going from death metal to like a Ramones style punk would, it would help the kid be. The Wonder Kid was funny. That Pat was there when he said that. That was not funny, Pat. No, it was funny. But overall, good show. I would like to see what it takes to play upstairs.
Yeah, that's the minimum we told you. It's not going to take hard to get that fucking on.
Like I said, just getting these Maladins and Mablets, whatever it's called. Getting like a band like them, S&M, and another local band. You can open, that's the best set anyways. So it's almost like headlining.
Middle one's usually the best.
Middle one would be the best. I'm not gonna say we're gonna be there, but
oh no, we won't have enough songs like that.
Pat, and as Pat does, maybe it's the punk rock thing, but hearing the city that you're in over and over and over again.
Really?
Hey, Chilliwack, how you doing tonight? Chilliwack, I want to hear you. Chilliwack, you guys rock. Chilliwack. Oh, in between every song by the Calgary band, Exit Wound, pretty sure that Shattered Throne did it a couple times, and so did the Without Mercy. They're from Abbotsford. So they all did it like a couple times. I was just like, oh, it's just so condescending. To me, it's just like, just don't do that.
What calling it a Chilliwack?
Just calling it, even just talking, like that's how I like about playing with the Electric Jets. You don't talk. You do that little segment in the middle, and it's more of a fucking showpiece than it is. We did it better on Canada Day. Having Dimitri there fucking threw me off at the Chill House a couple weeks ago. So, but the one we did at Canada Day at Todd's, Broken Barrier, that one was way better. Where I was able to do taking my jacket off and looking at you and show you what a real bass player looks like. And then the aftermath, though, of Vic saying to you, you're going to let him say that to you? That I won't forget. That was probably the best part of it all. Like Vic saying, you're going to let him say that?
Yeah, I think I told him, why fuck not? Else I say it to him too.
And some of the bands were surprised with the attendance. I think in the summertime it's harder to get attendance there. I have not been to many. This is the first time I've been to shows in the summertime there. I feel like they get bigger crowds in the fall and the spring when it's a little bit colder outside.
Well, personally, I think we could get our shit together enough to play a fucking Halloween show.
There's no Halloween shows to have.
I mean, there's no Halloween show, like the Wolf or anything.
Oh, you'd have to book that now.
I get that, but I'm saying,
Yeah, no, you're like
you don't think Todd will have a Halloween party?
he hasn't had one in 3 years,
Yeah, right. Yeah,
maybe 4. I don't think he's had one since that IOB show.
really?
Yeah.
Oh,
No, there was one after that one. And the numbers just started dropping. And he kind of has gotten to the point where he just doesn't want to clean up after it anymore.
yeah, it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. And at that point, and that was when the shows were free. Now he charges you money because it pays for the sound guy, pays for bands,
It's for the hot girl.
and the bills. Like these places are free. Like I understand, like with the Chill House, like when they're charging money to get it, I get it.
Yeah.
And that's what I've really been saying is this is why you have to support the local bands, because when you support the local bands, you're also supporting the local venues. I'm an old guy. I admit it. I've seen a lot of these venues close. And like I said, when we played it, I didn't take it in properly in the day. When we played the New York, I didn't take in the whole who else has played there on that stage. I stood on the same stage. I can go play fucking Rogers Arena where Kiss has played, Ozzy's played, all these guys have played. But I'm not on that stage.
No, it's not their stage.
It's not that stage.
So if you're playing there, it'd be your stage.
It's my stage. I have to bring my own stage there, right? Commodore, you're on the stage with, and that's a huge building because it's just not fucking Slayer, Exodus, all these bands that we grew up watching. I've read the book, got it upstairs. Kiss has played the fucking Commodore. Katy Perry has played the Commodore. The Rolling Stones, Tina Turner. Who's that fucking old fucking Sinatra? Sinatra's played the fucking Commodore. Like all these guys. You are sharing the stage with those people.
Odorous, please.
Odorous. One of the fucking, the way he owned that, was it Geraldo? Or was it the fucking short blonde haired one?
I don't remember which one he was on.
But he owned him. That's where you found out that there was one where he went on as Odorous, and there was another one where he went on as Dave Brock. And I think it was the one where he went on as Dave Brocky that he really owned
Because he wasn't caring.
Sally Jesse Raphael.
Yeah,
I think that's who it was. And he just decimated her because she thought that he was just a complete moron. Like heavy metal's evil, and you just sing about freaking crazy shit, and you have these effigies of killing the queen and whoever the president is.
A big dick that shoots blood everywhere.
Yeah, and you have this meat grinder, and people come up and they slide through it, and you know, and all this other shit, and you throw out blood and all this other shit, just like, and she thinks that, so you're a complete freaking lunatic. No, that guy is so fucking smart. It is almost like the scene in Wayne's World with Milwaukee. You think that you're gonna get like a crazy fucking rock star who's singing about fucking black leather on lace. No. Alice Cooper's a lot smarter than you fucking take him for. Because he's always on the sidelines and he just hates everybody. I'm not sure on Paul Stanley. Gene Simmons has got his business thing, and I don't think Gene Simmons is as smart as his business thing as he really is. As much as he's probably got somebody behind the fucking curtain where you don't look, that's fucking doing all the shit for him.
But even Paul Stanley in his book said he's the fucking best business guy in the world.
No, he wasn't, because Gene didn't know that fucking Kiss was fucking bankrupt in 1984.
What else? Oh yeah, on that Ozzy thing. You remember how you said how that fucking Disturbed guy got fucking booed?
Yeah.
Because he's a Jew. And fucking also
he said some political shit a couple days earlier.
Yeah, and that's why he got booed, because he's a fucking Jew. Whatever. But also too, Manson, he fucking came on and did a video congratulations to her.
Apparently he got booed as well.
He got booed and fucking everything, like, because fucking everybody was in protest that they played it, because some broads have to get together and say all these Me Too broads.
But you know what?
It just goes
You and I should have had a video. If I'd have known that you could buy video down and then they take the best from that. Because there was like, and so you basically got 15 seconds. So in between bands, they would show all these people. And one of them that I saw is someone that didn't need any introduction, but they introduced themselves. Can you name 5 people, random people from all walks of life, not just rock and roll, that don't have to say who they are?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so imagine Arnold Schwarzenegger going on, doing a video, and he's like, hey, Ozzy, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger.
It's Ozzy. It's Ozzy.
Yeah, like that.
No, not like that.
Yeah, no, but it was like that. Dolly Parton came on.
Oh, no.
Yeah, she's like, hey, Ozzy, it's Dolly Parton, and I'm watching this, and I'm like, since when do you need to introduce yourself?
Mm-hmm.
The whole world knows who you are. You don't need to say who you are. But at the same time, not in the best of condition. Maybe it's just best that you do.
It's best things that.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I'm hearing a lot about that fucking stupid Oasis thing. Why is that a big deal?
I was going to bring that up. Thank you. You are the master of the fucking segue. Got kicked out of the Facebook group.
Did you?
Oh, yeah. So.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever.
My life is over. So, it was in this punk one where it shows a picture of Oasis, and it says, the reunion that we got. And then it says, the reunion that we want. And it was, I believe it was Fugazi, not Minor Threat.
Yeah.
Same band almost.
The one that we want.
Yeah, when we were like,
Oasis.
yeah. But, and then they're like, who would you want to see get reunite? And I just went on there and I said, fuck reunions and their overpriced bullshit. Like the whole fucking, it just fucking pisses me right off.
Oh, that
Now I understand, and I have
to get community standards.
no.
You're blocked.
Oh yeah,
You're fucking community standards.
yeah. Like I'm like, holy fuck! Like yeah, I went and I saw that thing about rock and roll, is about how much money you can make and how fast you can make it. Different times though. That was the time of album sales, T-shirts, and concerts, and all this other stuff. And you milked it out separately, and you gave the option, right? The options were there. Now the only option is to see them live. When you see a punk band, I'm not going to say what punk band they are, but they're not very good at religion.
They're bad.
They're bad. Wanting to charge you $200 to see them in an intimate situation.
Yes, but
Sure, it got canceled because one of them got sick, and I'm sorry about that. You got sick, but the fact that they were going to charge $200.
okay. Now on the other hand, you're gonna charge $200 because you're not having record sales.
These guys already fucking made their money. Fucking this band
You don't want to
at Religion band has been around since 1982. They have sold multi-million-dollar albums, not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 4 times.
I get that, but they don't want to go out there and do it for fucking free. I mean, they don't
No,
want to cost
but
them.
you're not.
They gotta make money, and if they don't got record sales or anything like that, they gotta pay for all that shit to move around somehow.
I was talking to Pat about it, about when I saw Sacred Reich opening for Carcass a year or so ago. They came out and they set up all their own they set up their own fucking gear. Did their own fucking sound check, and then they played. Because I'm watching them, I was like, they look just like the guys in the band.
Well, you know what? Saving a fucking buck. They ain't saving fucking big bucks.
They probably were, because you know what? There was 4 fucking bands on that fucking show, and I think we paid $70, $80 for the 4 bands. 4 bands that we wanted to see. I remember it was Whiplash, Sacred Reich, Creeping Death, or maybe it wasn't Whiplash. I can't remember. There was a band called Creeping Death, Sacred Reich, and Carcass, and there was another band in there somewhere too. I can't remember who it was right now. And I'm just like, why can't you have more of that? Like, that's what we need to do. You got to get back to the basics.
I was just gonna say the same fucking thing.
Back to the
Back to
basics.
the basics.
Remember why you got into it. Me and Pat were talking about the DIY itself because I didn't have any because I got to talk to my sticker guy about getting some new stickers. But being at a show, we were talking about being at the show on Friday night and actually passing out flyers to the show that we're going to be playing at.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't have a show coming up, but I didn't have any stickers on me, so I can't be passing out stickers at the time either. But I would have been doing shit like that. And that's what you did. And it just reminded me of like when we talked about when it was musicians versus actors in The Celebrity Apprentice. And I called it at the very beginning. Gene Simmons was in that one. I think it was, I don't know, was Bret Michaels and Gene Simmons in the same one?
I think so.
I can't remember that.
But Gene Simmons got fired.
Got fired early.
Got fired because Kiss had to go on tour.
His kids had to go on tour.
So Gene Simmons got fired.
Yeah. No, but, and I knew right away when it comes to like actors versus musicians, because that's all it really was on that show. And I knew right away that
Well, you do have
it was going to be a musician that was going to win.
But actors, I think about it. Actors do have to sell themselves too.
By doing a good job.
Yeah.
Other than that, they have an agency.
True. Yeah.
Where
A musician.
I'm a director. I need somebody to. I go to the agency and say, "This is what I'm looking for in a person. This is the look I'm looking for." As a director, I'm just not going to pull up in a van on the side of the road and say, "Get in and let's see how you do."
No.
Yeah, that's right. I said it. But so Whereas musicians,
Yeah, you're right. They gotta do their own fucking publishing.
they gotta do their own shit, you know?
They gotta do their own fucking legwork.
So,
It's like thinking of our girls too. They gotta do their own. They gotta
and,
sell.
and I had no problem paying for this.
I had no problem. No shit.
Because I understand what they were doing.
It's a show.
It's working. It's a show.
It's a show.
We had to instruct Mrs. Aaron on how to give money. I remember that one. That was funny. That was hilarious. She just went up and she threw money on the stage and then she walked away. And then the girl tried to give her a show and we're like,
Yeah, turn around.
you're supposed to, you get a little, and she's like, what, I do? And then she's like, give me another $5.
Yeah, let me tell you, they need to go back to $2 bills.
Yeah, because
it gets fucking expensive.
It gets expensive because throwing up 2 2s, that's only $4. Throwing up
2 5, that's a fucking great.
that's 10.
That's a fucking great.
But no, but that's also 3 extra throws that you could add.
That's right.
That's what I'm talking about. 3 extra throws.
Although that one there, I fucking threw it all the way for.
I can't remember which one it was. No, were you there when there was a couple dudes from like the oil fields there?
Yeah.
They were throwing like 50s and 100s.
Yeah, one of those ones. Yeah, then one came and sat with us afterwards.
Yeah, I know. Because we were still more interested.
I know.
Because it was all about that. I can't remember who it was. I don't think we ever picked her up. It was the one that has the tattoos of the door knockers from Labyrinth on their legs.
Yeah.
And I was so.
Oh yeah.
You're talking with them about what you do. I'm Chris. I do this. I'm Chris, and this is what I do. Chris is selling. Mrs. Aaron is there. She's talking fucking pole and circus bullshit with them. Me, I got another one. So all 3 girls. There's only 3 girls a night. We had all 3 girls with us. I'm talking to the other one. I'm talking business because I'm like wondering about if I ever win the lottery, I'm going to open a fucking bar. And I'm like, so what do you get a night? And just like, well, we get $250 just to show up. And I was like, okay, so there's you, there's 3 girls tonight. That's $750. That means I need to pull in $2,000 on the nights that you're here just to fucking break even.
Plus, they get all their tips.
They get to keep their tips, but you also got to pay your bartender. You also got to pay the staff that was on the other side where there was no dancers. There was a couple people working over there. There was a chef because there was food, and just to keep the lights on, right? So that's why I'm in my head. I'm like, I gotta make $2,000 a night on these, like through alcohol and everything like that. I understand about how alcohol gets done. I understand, like, because of the fact that with every drink that you pour, you have to pay the bartender on every drink that you pour. You got to pay the server on every drink that you pour. I understand why a drink costs $10. I get it now.
Because that $10 goes in 8 billion different directions.
Yeah, it goes in 8. Yeah, it goes in 8 different directions. Exactly. It's crazy. So I understand it all, and I was like, oh, in my head, all these numbers, it's like crazy fucking Rain Man shit happening. So I was just like, I gotta make that much money a night? Oh man, I don't know if I want a bar. Although, one right around the corner from here, I think would fucking mint. Oh fuck, if you had a bar up on this fucking hill, walking distance to everything. I would have burlesque dancers in it.
Yeah, I'm sure there's fucking city politics so that don't. The reason probably why Whiskey shut down.
No, they got shut down because the dude that owned the building, not owned, so they were paying rent to a guy that was leasing the building from somebody else. He wasn't paying his rent. So he was just taking money from Whiskey Richards and whoever
So
else.
Whiskey Richards was paying middleman, but middleman wasn't paying the top guy.
No. So it's back up for lease. I would love to, like, such a prime location. right across the street from the fucking dance club. Because as soon as at 12 o'clock, from 12 to 2, that place had everybody. They all came in. And that's where you make your money on that night. Because, like I said, on the nights where you had dancers, of the burlesque, you needed to bring in like $2,000. And let me break out my fucking thingy.
Calculator. And then we're shutting this down.
Yeah, then we're gonna shut this down. That's not that much. You gotta serve like 200 drinks. I don't know why I need a calculator to go 2,000 divided by 10. But apparently I did.
Take the zero off.
Thanks a lot, tips. And then there's tips on top of that, but that goes to the server.
Well, actually, all the tips, they usually get piled in together and usually get split.
It depends on who you like.
Yeah, it gets split with the people in the back, too.
Sometimes. You know, if it's food and you tip on it, apparently sometimes if you tip on food, it goes to the server and the cook. Drinks just go to, well, then the drinks can go to bartender and server.
Right.
You know, so just be aware of these things. Walter plays guitar, but also plays bass. The Wonder Kid was funny. I didn't see the Walter one. Yeah, this guy Walter was playing with alcoholics. Climbing a bit.
Well, I'm excited for Sunday. S&M was on their first jam.
Pat played me some fucking in between bands. We went and listened to some of Pat's stuff.
Yeah.
There was one song about that he wrote about Ben, a guy that we know. I'm not going to say which one. For the sake of it, we're going to call it Ben. And the song is called Silent But Friendly. About how, and you know this was Ben's MO, that he would fart somewhere and then he'd walk away and make sure that you were blamed for it.
Either that or you go into someone's fucking house and plug up their fucking toilet.
Oh, there was that.
Fucking come over to my place, walk right in, walk upstairs and open the fucking fridge. And my phone can say, hey man, fucking tell me to get out of the fucking fridge all the time.
Tell me to get out of the fridge, dinner's almost ready. It was a song about how Ben would fucking fart in places. And when he said that he did that, he said he did it in a particular spot. He said he did it at two. He did it to Pat at an ATM. So back in the days before fucking debit cards, we had cash. So there would be lineups at the cash machine. And so Ben was in line first, as Ben liked to be. He always liked to be first. Gets his cash, fucking lets one go, and then leaves fucking so fast. Pat is next. So now Pat's stuck in there looking like he did it.
And suffering.
And suffering at the same time, trying to push these buttons fast. Meanwhile, there's probably like 3 of the hottest girls. It always ended up being that way too. Standing behind him. Followed by some old lady. You know, that was probably all looking at Pat thinking that he did it.
That's what Ben fucking did. You remember fucking back in the day before we had the internet? And there was fucking free porn everywhere. Ben would get rent this porn for her. I'll drive you down to the video store. Whoever can be pretending looking at videos. I want you to go into the fucking porn section and rent me a porno.
That was okay. That was in the early stages. Early stages is like when you would have to go do it.
Yeah, you have to go.
You would have to go do it for. Oh, that's because September, January, April. We're older. We're
It's because he's fucking embarrassed.
No, but then he got more into it, and then it led up to that birthday back in 2010. And yeah, Ben was looking and laughing from the window. Yeah, and that totally because I remember him would be at like one end of like the SkyTrain, and he'd be doing that, and then he would fucking let it rip, and then he would actually either go to the back of the car, or sometimes he'd get out and then get back in, and you could see him in the next car behind you banging on the fucking glass, laughing at you. Yeah, that's what that reminded me of. I remember him doing that once where he did that. That and where's my Excel shirt? Where did we stay that night? That we were like
ambulance.
No, because we were taking a bus.
We were taking the bus.
It was a bus,
We
not
taking
the
the bus.
SkyTrain.
And he's like, he had a fucking DRI shirt on his head, and the bus is like losing his shit. Where's my fucking DRI shirt?
Because he bought a shirt at the show, but he put his other shirt on his head.
Yeah. And he's fucking like shit himself, kind of like the fucking lighter thing.
That, and when I put my Ramon shirt on my head at the foam party, and actually it was going to Mrs. Aaron, and she said, "Why is this shirt on his head?" She just like, don't. And then when she asked me, I was like, "Well, I had to put it somewhere."
That's right. Anyways, this show's done.
This show's done.
Good show.
It was a good show. Ozzy, thank you so much. Because I can tell you right now,
us and them wouldn't be doing this shit today.
Wouldn't be doing this shit because of the fact that one of the very first songs I ever learned, Iron Man.
Iron Man, everybody.
Power chords.
Iron Man
and
is slow
slow.
on the water, one of the two.
But it was Iron Man. It was slow.
But when you learn, it's one of those two songs that you learn just for that reason.
Because it was slow and you knew it.
It's the chord progression.
Cheers, Pat.
Goodbye,
Thanks for coming out. Hopefully we see you next week. We're gonna have a good show next week when we talk about what happened on the weekend. Like I said, support local music, support the local venues, all of them. The Wolf Bar, the Chill House, the other one that's out here in Chilliwack, I can't think of what it's called. Even like down to Corky's, down to Broken Barrier. They only do one show a year now. Yeah, like I said, if you want to do something on Halloween, you're going to be booking it now. Which we're going to think about because we're booking other shows for other bands right now.
I'll book for other bands. I don't think we should worry about fucking this them do a Halloween show.
What is it? What month is this?
It's like fucking July.
When the fuck did that happen?
I don't know.
Maybe November?
Maybe. What?
I don't know. Maybe I can pull double duty one more time.
Maybe you can. Let's see how things go.
Fuck, you know what? You know I will. Just
I know you will.
fucking, yeah.
I know you will anyways.
Yeah, maybe we'll do double duty, and we're trying to look for another local band in upcoming months. But I think in November, maybe October, that one in between Thanksgiving and Halloween. I think we're gonna try to get on the island.
Nice.
Yeah, we're gonna follow one of the Offspring out there onto the island.
Cool.
Because, like Surrey Girls. Anyways,
Yeah, we're done.
we're done. Pat, thanks for coming out. Had a great time with you on Friday night. Like I said, Ozzy, the whole show, every band was fucking great on Saturday. I had no complaints about any of the bands. I'm glad that I missed a couple that I didn't get to see because I can't stand Fred Durst and Jack Black. What the fuck does Fred Durst have to do with fucking Sabbath anyway? Nothing. I'm sorry. Yeah. So, alright, goodbye. Like and subscribe because it does nothing for you, but it does everything for us. But we don't actually want that shit anyway, so it doesn't matter. And we haven't seen this one in a while.
Well, I don't need
So like you'll need the stair and the symbols.
there, the symbols, and probably the. I don't know what you guys have on if you kick that.
I got a kick upstairs.
Yeah.
I don't know if you need a kick. So we've got to get in touch with Todd to see what we're still